chalk and all of it.
I know. Yeah, I think we're up. Bonjour, Adal.
I'm waiting to see us.
Notre ami d'Australia? I don't know. D'Australien? How do you say Australia in French?
I don't know. Everyone's saying hello, but I can't see us.
They can see us and hear us. They can see everything. Can you hear something in the background? That sounds like chomp, 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 chomp. Can you hear that? Of course she stops.
I'm going to refresh my screen because...
Oh, before Juno gets the headphones.
Oh, David. You're getting a look.
Yeah, I am. But hello and welcome to this very special episode of LangTime Studio. Special in that it's not in the place that we're usually at. That's it. But
and with more noises.
Yeah, more noises. I don't think they can hear the noises, to be honest. But to start things off, we're here at Jesse's sister's place, and we were gifted some things. I was gifted something, and I think you need to see it. That says, "Life is better with a beaver." Amazing. This is my new shirt. I'm very, very, very excited about it. I am wearing it day one, and I'm going to be wearing it a lot. Oh, good. Magpie's hearing some faint noises. Okay, so that was the first exciting bit. The second exciting bit are these blondies, which I can't eat, but look at that logo. Look at that dancing deer. Isn't that charming?
Tay says now David's going to get misgendered even more.
Nothing could make it lessen, I think. It was just always going to happen. Okay, and now for the big reveal. Jesse, if you want to take your camera.
On Discord already got a preview.
Yeah.
But, all right. Oh, can you kind of untangle me? Because I don't want to pull it.
Hang on a sec.
All right. I'm just going to... Oh, is she in frame? Hi. Here you are. Hey, Freya. Do you want to say hi? Yeah. You're a good puppy. So this is Freya. Okay. I would bring it closer, but my cord is...
Yeah, it's a little...
is all tangled up, so that's going to do that.
Hey, you should... Look, she came back. Here. Oh, you got to show that. You got to show that.
Well, come here, Freya. You want to say hi? Oh, now you jump down. You want to say hi? There we go. Now you get a nice shot of my hand. Yeah, you're a good girl. Okay.
Freya can. Oh, yeah. What was that noise? What was that noise? You know it's a full hour before you get what you want. Okay.
And
So first, let's quickly deal with the poll, since there's not a lot to discuss, because the bulk of that work is going to be done on stream.
Oh, toy. It's
okay.
Fine. She has some very noisy toys.
So for this poll, we have 4 proto-pronouns for Haugauf et al. And it was first person singular and plural, second person singular and plural. We didn't have anything for the third person. Haugauf, we just used demonstratives, I think. So for this language...
Play was one of the options, right? Or no, it was run. It wasn't play.
Yeah. For this one, we wanted to actually have third-person pronouns, and they needed sources. And basically, we gave you a couple of options that were spliced. Two singular options. One was fox, and one was dog, but one of our other words for dog. Which one? The bell word for dog, not the brum word for dog. So that was one option, and then we had three plural options. One was our word for three, which can be reinterpreted as a trio, and so that would be our third person plural. The other was run, which is what eventually gave Haukoff its plural marker, not the Fox language. And then the other option was a third one where we just come up with the form and have it mean group or herd. Anyway, so the vote was close, but it was decisive no matter which way you slice it, even if you took all of the B votes away, because B didn't win, A won. Even if you took all the B votes away and added them to the A votes, this was still the winner by a little bit, and that was A2. So Fox plus run. So we got that, and so we will work with that for this stream to get us our pronouns. So,
should I have Haukoff open?
Now, I didn't have the poll open the entire time, did I?
Well, it's announced.
Yeah, sorry. I just had the Pages document open.
I was sidetracked.
I think everybody was sidetracked.
We had a squeaky toy.
All right.
Okay.
Okie doke. So, let is, and by is I mean us, let us go about this, because I started to come up with some potential forms and immediately stopped because some questions immediately emerged as I tried to put these into cases.
And I told David not to spend all of his time trying to figure this out, so it would be a table of pronouns when giving options, because then everything that wasn't voted for, just wouldn't have been voted for, and so. So that's on me. David would have otherwise already had forms for you. I just told him, hey, we need to get a poll up. And so, there we go.
Okay, and then oh, right. These are supposed to be these are the meanings and the protoforms, so I should actually put the meanings in there.
Yeah.
And this is run. And we can get rid of that. So, here's,
Jonathan says, I'm barely audible.
Oh, this is going to be a reminder to you, Jess. We don't have our big microphone with us. And so for that reason, we are using the microphone on my computer. And so...
and it's that bad that I'm right here and it doesn't pick me up? The typing sounds as you were typing were suddenly much louder than my voice.
That's another issue with using the microphone on the computer as opposed to the regular microphone. That's probably going to be a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as long as I'm not inaudible. Yeah, this is road trip stream. This happens.
Yeah.
And anime fan, the background noise is a dog. And... well, those sounds will be here, I'm sure, the whole stream, because despite the fact that she slept for the last 4 hours, she is now wide awake for our stream. So
Maybe, not despite the fact, because of the fact.
Maybe because. But she could have slept for another 2 hours.
I guess. Yeah, she's got something that's in the shape of a wishbone, but I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's just a chew bone.
And
it's like one of the chew bone things for their teeth.
Yeah, she's giving it a good gnaw. Oh, she's enjoying the heck out of that. Anyway, so
I'll just let David do the talking.
Yeah. So what are we doing? Oh, the pronouns. Okay.
Pronouns.
So I'm just gonna summarize the main issue for you right off the top. If we go about the our usual way of giving these case forms, while also encouraging the kind of lenition that we used with the agreement, we end up with forms that feel like they should be stressed on the case morphology, whereas for nouns, the roots are stressed rather than the cases. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I was ending up with. And I can give you some forms as an example. Let me just type them up here real quick, and I'll like paste them over. Because we have regular, then essentially that is accusative. Next is genitive. Next is locative. And then what are our two additional cases?
I'll grab those, but also if you wanted Lexergy on screen, it is not.
I didn't super care, but
okay. Then we have allative and illative, and those are
one of them is one plus something, and the other is the other plus something. But
what did we wrote that somewhere, right?
Yeah. So
and home.
Yeah. So let's go. This is just first person singular. I'm going to kind of do these in the romanization. And in parentheses means that this was something that we lenited in agreement.
We took down a note for the sources of allative and illative. And I'm having a heck of a time remembering. I just know wa and home are how they normally look.
You just add one to the other. It's not a huge deal. Oh.
Your typing sounds like a squirrel trapped in a Pringles tube. That's really kind of delightful. And I'm sorry to everyone who doesn't like that, but like that's delightful.
Yeah, I'm very excited by that. And then this one, allative, that's going to be...
Okay, people are saying like, holy crap, this is loud. So
what is?
The typing.
Hold on a sec. I think I may have, I think I increased the input volume, but it means that we're going to have to speak more energetically.
Turn it down and... Oh, now Matei says more like rats gnawing their way through the wainscoting.
Wainscoting or wainscoting?
Oh, good question.
Oh, Karis, you have a dog. How about that? I assume the dog's name is Care Bear.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Okay, type something just to type it.
I will, just as soon as I remember. Allative is the W form plus the genitive. There we go. That's it. So it's going to be... And then this one is that.
Because it's a nasal followed by an R, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I remember why we had decided to sit across from each other, as I just keep saying the side of my head on because I keep looking at David.
Yeah.
So the typing is still loud. I don't know what we can do about that, folks.
Oh, I think we're also on opposite sides of where the camera is. Are we?
No, because if we look. See? Do you see? Just a second.
Did we flip the video?
There, see?
Did we flip the video? Because look, that's on the left and I'm on the right. But yeah, we sure are looking at each other.
It works. Yeah, we are really sorry about the typing. I don't know what to do about it. We don't have our microphone because we're traveling. The best we can say, is it an OBS setting? The best we can say is that, hey, at least we're not on hotel Wi-Fi. So, yeah.
Anyway, so we try to just reduce the input volume even more, but you know, otherwise y'all can just grin and bear it, or just leave.
David is so accommodating. Freya. Shh. Come here. It's okay. Do you want to come up? You look like you're about to come up, whether I want you to or not. Huh?
We might be about to get a dog on the lap here.
Maybe. Freya. Okay.
Boy, you know what animal doesn't do that? A cat.
Come here. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, just a second. You better let me actually. Oh, there we go. Okay.
But yeah, let's put this thing kind of in focus.
Do you want to say hi to everyone?
I don't know if green makes it better.
Oh, let's turn the camera down.
Probably doesn't.
There we go. Let's see if that helps.
Let's put it in red.
Let's see if that helps, huh?
There we go. See, Artifactian is here now.
Oh, now we can really begin. There we go. Okay.
The loudest cat is quieter than the quietest dog.
I don't know about that. Okay.
So, as you look at these, the reason that the F is in parentheses is because we lenited that F when it occurred as inflection on the verb, when it occurred as agreement. If we did that again, it would be the forms without the F, and they would be, minimal, the way that pronouns should be. But also, it just feels like for a lot of these, it should be stressed on the first syllable. So, hora, ara, ondra, wara, hondra. That makes sense. But what we usually do with Haugoff-oid languages is stress the root, or if there's like a modifier, stress the modifier. So in this case, it would be hora, ara, ondra, wara, hondra. And that seems a little odd, because if it's stressed, why is it losing the F? The reason that it lost it with agreement is because even though the word is stressed, in general in the phrase, it was de-emphasized. So, ran I to the store, it gets kind of thrown down. Also, it's just the nominative. After all, this is subject agreement, right? And it's a nominative accusative language. So it really wasn't a big deal losing the F. But yeah, what to do for the pronouns, though? I mean, it's a bit of a question.
And to answer Aaron's question there, no idea what breed Freya is. Adorable.
Loud.
Adorable. Curious? Maybe part cat? Definitely part jackrabbit. This is a jumper. And she can jump over the back of the couch. Right into your lap. Okay. Didn't need to lick the computer. Okay. So, David, yes.
I'm just going to mention this. There's, at ache. There's popcorn in there, but it is cheddar popcorn.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And not good for eating on a stream.
I just can't abide it.
Oh, Freya wants some David attention.
Yeah, she has enjoyed snuggling today. When she has experienced a kind of wildness, I've thrown some of her toys about the room to tire her out. Yeah. Anyway, so
I'm trying to keep her on my lap. I'm sorry, David.
no, it's all right. I don't really know what to do. We can go take a look at Halgoff's pronouns real quick, just so we can remember, because I believe they're not much. They don't differ much from the protoforms. Yeah, they don't. They're pretty much straight across. I would love for the fox ones to be different. What's tasty about the table? Why are you licking the table? There's nothing there to lick.
Everything is tasty.
She reminds me of the Little Rascals dog, just in the way that the face looks. Obviously, the Little Rascals dog is the one that was white with the black spot over the eye, but your face very much looks like that dog.
Mm-hmm.
You look like you should have a little handkerchief on.
Okay, so did you look at how they worked?
Yeah, I mean, like, they're pretty much direct reflections of the protoforms. And it's like for the nominative, you feel like the nominative should change because they already got lenited and became inflection. So why are you looking at that?
All right. You ready for a visitor?
You will not find a calm harbor here.
Very, very curious dog.
Mr.
Hey,
Laridian, we have your dog. Please come pick her up.
David.
Okay, the dog is on me now. Oh my goodness. Do
you want me to take her?
No. That's fine. It's fine.
Just getting the cord out. Okay. So.
Now that Biblaridian is here, I feel like I have to re-explain the problem because I feel like he can just solve it.
Just tell us what to do.
Yeah, so Biblaridian, everybody else, shut your eyes and ears. This is just for Bib. You can see the forms that are in red right there. The protoforms are above. That was the third person forms were the result of the poll. And the issue is for inflection, we dropped the final F of this first person form. This is just the first person singular pronoun. Because it made sense. The word was de-emphasized, and of course it's only the nominative form. for no, no, no. Why on earth? There are people talking. Have some self-respect.
Yeah, you let him know, Dave. Freya.
Unbelievable. All right. So, anyway, I kind of ran the sound changes with the first person pronoun. That's the results in red right there. The F is in parentheses if we were to drop it. But we run into two problems. Number one, it feels like the case prefixes should be stressed, not the pronoun, which would run counter to how we do things in this language so far. Number two, we already had the nominative pronouns. We already had them lanite and become agreement. So it feels like having a lanited form for the nominative doesn't make sense. If anything, the nominative for these pronouns should be bolstered in some way, reinforced. Anyway, that's where we sit right now. You can see all of these forms are going to come out as, they're all going to come out as monosyllabic. I am curious about when it ends in a... Okay, the bottom one, the run one, this is going to come out as disyllabic. So it's going to come out as lakfa. So that's something. That's something. But yeah, what to do with the rest? I have an idea. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask, you think the nominative needs fortified simply because it's the only one syllable form, or because you think that, especially as we get to the we form, it's just going to be really kind of light?
The nominative, because we already lanited those. At least for these. For the third persons, we didn't. We did something different for those. These, though, already got lanited. I did have an idea. Add the word here after these two, and add the word there after these two.
Oh, interesting.
All right.
And Jake was suggesting it could also be reduplicated like Korean case particles.
Wait, Jake was suggesting that we put the dog down? Just put the dog on the floor? Really?
Here,
That's
do
what
you want
Jake
me to
said?
get her, I can put her down.
Okay.
On the floor. Boy, I just realized how that sounds in English.
All right. I mean, place the dog onto the floor. All right. It feels like you want to get down. It feels like you want to get down. Is that the case?
Well, I don't want her to jump that far.
Yeah,
I'm sure she would be fine.
That's what I was concerned with. I thought maybe she wanted to get down, but it was too high.
Oh, let's get a little hug, and then
Dog smell.
there you go. There you go. Good job. Good job. Okay.
Oh, I hear him all the time from Jesse, Jonathan.
What do you hear all the time?
Needs without to be. Needs washed as opposed to needs to be washed.
Well, why add 2 extra syllables?
They were always there. They were bequeathed to us. It's tradition. It is nice, though, because now I associate that construction with you. Previously, I didn't.
I'm happy to give you an association.
Yeah.
Also, putting her down, she tried to jump partway down. I'm glad that wasn't fully on camera. I feel that I very awkwardly put her on the ground, placed her on the ground.
I'm not a fan of it, but I am a big fan of Jesse, though. So, yeah, needs washing also works.
No, why can you say needs washing but not needs washed?
Because washing is a noun. In this instance, it's a noun. Right. I'm fairly confident in that. Does everybody agree that in that case it's a gerund, not an active participle?
I don't know. I think you could modify it with adverbial elements, and you're clearly modifying the washing, therefore making it more verb-like.
I would say needs quick washing, not needs washing quickly. The quickly part would be modifying needs there.
Well, anyway. See, Danielle here's needs washed here in Appalachia. That tracks.
Yeah. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is probably going to cause me some disappointment. I'm going to go to the Hauhoff document. I'm going to look up if we have very simple words for here and there that go all the way back to the proto stage, and I'm guessing the answer is going to be no.
Well, why don't you let me search?
All right, Jesse's doing the search. Yeah, I knew somebody who said Warsh from Cape Cod.
Sometimes it's fun to see all the places we have.
Jonathan, do you mean done eating versus done with eating? If that's the question, both are okay.
I think we have neither here nor there, which means we can remedy that. Yeah.
Seriously.
All the here's and there's are in
Wow.
English.
Well, everybody, it's time for a little jaunt back to Hauhoff. But this, okay, this can be good. This can be good. No, nobody can say that, I don't think. Are you sure your friend just didn't make a mistake? Because, you know, that can happen. Have you ever heard that, Jess? Are you done your pasta yet?
No.
Mm-mm.
But that doesn't mean it's not possible for someone.
Yeah.
Are you putting my bar at the point where it's like...
You've spent a lot of time in that region of the country that lies in between the coasts. So, you know, you're liable to hear more strange things.
Gotcha. Oh, sure, done washed, yeah. But, are you done your pasta yet? That's a level
Nice,
of garden pathing for my brain. And so it's like really interesting to see like what got melded into that construction.
Yeah. By the way, I've been waiting for Bibleridian to solve our problem, and thus far, he hasn't. When we needed him most, he vanished. 100 years passed.
Turns out he was Rip Van Winkle all along. Isn't that the one who sleeps?
This was an Avatar reference. Last I read.
For when he disappeared.
Yeah. Good song.
Probably a little Freya,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. We can do this with some targeting in mind. Both Raf and her end in consonants. So if we had a V initial word for here, that could be good.
Well, let's do it then.
Oh, right. I did say that I had an idea. So yeah, this essentially is the idea. All this is going to do is rescue the nominative forms for us. We could go really wild with these and make every single form like slightly irregular. We'll see. All right. Okay. Something that means here, nearby, starting with a vowel. I would jump to E. We don't have that.
So
A. Yeah.
Ray.
No, starting with a vowel.
Oh, I think it's starting with a V.
Oh, no.
You didn't mean V,
Oh.
the fricative. You meant V, capital V, standing for a vowel.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on. Biblarian says, yesterday I learned that evenki has a posterior converb suffix of the form knan.
Amazing.
Okay, what is evenki? Is it spoken by possums?
And as a nod to Evenki, here is now Eve. Or Eve.
Evenki, formerly known as Tungus, is the largest member of the northern group of Tungusic languages, a group which also includes Eben and Negidal, and the more closely related Oroqen language. Never heard of any of these. Wow. I want to see the Knan in the flesh. Show me the Knan.
Why don't you search for the command?
Oh, yeah, it's a form to be written with Mongolian. It's got a lot of little suffixes. I guess these are cases. The assemblative, like a trap. So instead of simulative, they call that case the semblative. You know, here, I'm going to show everybody this. So hang on to this vocabulary item. The semblative case is also sometimes referred to as the simulative case. Okay, all right.
Just depends on the researcher.
For the bubuk owl, he is still actually like him, but the barn owl is now white.
The bubuk? This is like Booba and Biblaridian.
Wow.
And a nod to Matisse. All in one sentence.
Wow. Oh, that could be... okay, I have an idea for October 31st, Mr. Luridian. It's your Boo Book stream where you read out live from your grimoire of tales of horror, but they're all about owls changing color. So it's like every single one, the big twist is that the owl changed color, and that's supposed to be terrifying. I'd watch that.
I got a picture of it's the Australian bubuk.
And the first picture of the Australian Boo Book looks like he's very much surprised to have his picture taken.
This one even more so. Look at that one. What? And look at that guy.
Wow.
They all have these incredibly wide eyes that are just incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right,
Okay.
anyway, these are obviously noun forms. We need to get to the verb forms. And this honestly looks like a Wikipedia page that I wrote, because when they got to the verbs, they're just like, syntax. Evenki is subject, object, verb. Subject is marked according to the nominative and the object by the accusative. In Evenki, the indirect object precedes the direct object. That's it.
That's all
And
you
then
need to know.
they jump directly to literary traditions. But look at how much loving attention has been given to the noun cases. This is incredible. Also, personal indices. Oh, wait, there's an Evenki grammar. Hold on, we're going to keep going. Oh, it's got vowel harmony. E and U are neutral. Wow. So it's, what is this, height harmony? Okay, so this is schwa, then we have a and o. Yeah, it's basically it's just height.
I really
harmony.
wish if they were going to call it first row and second row, they made them rows instead of columns. Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we have now.
I know, but is this just a distinction between a and schwa? Is that it? Like, why are these even there? Okay, so it's like...
Well, a and o to schwa, I think it's...
So if it's like, if you got an o or an a in there, you get a. Otherwise, if it's a schwa, you get a schwa. Or if it's a neutral, you get a schwa. Yeah. Okay. There's all them noun cases. Comminative and instrumental. Welcome to the party. Assemblative isn't there. Oh, wow. So already these things disagree. This looks verby, doesn't it? Or no, is this just... I don't know what that is.
I'm not sure if it's...
I just wanted to see...
It's possession. Those are the possessive...
I just wanted to see Kanan in the flesh, that's all. And it's not there.
It's not there.
All right, forget it.
Biblaridian, you're going to have to, like, send that to David.
This is an absolute wild opossum chase. Okay. Okay. That is an intriguing way to begin that song, though. Hi ho. I mean, that's intriguing. That's intriguing. I'll give them that. The rest of the song I can do without, and usually if whistling is in a song, I can really do without it. But I like that opener. It's pretty good.
A description of Korean converbs in their Northeast Asian context.
Huh. Kanan. All right, let's see.
Okay.
Let's have some options here. What happens to... Interesting.
Oh, no, I just downloaded it. Okay, now. Hopefully the title page was the only one in Korean, otherwise Here we go.
Kanan. And of course it would either be Kanan or Knun. Because it's harmonic. Wow.
And here it is again. Oh, a whole section on it.
Oh my gosh. An entire section is posteriority and then it says Kanan.
The girl cried until her eyes became red, and here we have it. There it is. Hularka Knantin.
Wow. That's a pretty cool use. That's a pretty cool use of a converb, so you don't have to have things like until.
Well, that's what a lot of the jobs of converbs are, is to make it so you don't need full adverb clauses.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Biblaridian. Found it.
So, I'm going to throw this suggestion out here. If it was like EW, we could say it kind of got lenited just on the pronouns as EU would, which would turn it into U. And so the first person nominative would be Rafu. And then this would be, I don't know, Haru? Let's see what that comes out as. Yeah, Haru. And we can have it be short. So if that was if we made, let's just say the form was EW. And so the actual adverb would be Eve. Probably adverb pronoun, yeah? Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a place here.
Eve in the Fox language, right?
Yeah, in Hauhof. Oh, that's it. Here, I'm just going to copy this so that I can come right back. In Haugoth, that will come out as Ev.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
we should do both.
remember to put those in.
Okay, so first let's start with Hauhof. Okay. Yeah. The cat here. Ev. Like that.
And I'll put it down on the English side. How are we spelling it?
Hold on a sec. No. I just want to double check something. I did put in EW, right?
Yes.
I did. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's EV and then yeah. All right. So pronoun here. And 3 cases of Haugoff. We got genitive, locative, and accusative. What do we use for toward? Do we use accusative or locative? Because I feel like we use accusative.
For toward?
Yeah, like to. Yeah. We do use accusative. Okay, so I don't know if we want to make these for that here. Adverbial sense. Use ev or to here. Adverbial sense. Use web. Why not? Okay, that is done. Let us now tied herbal sausage.
Yeah,
now I'm getting hungry. What are you
People are
doing?
rude talking about food.
It's East Coast 5:47 p.m. here.
I am ready to eat.
Yeah.
We got an hour and 13 minutes left.
And all I've got sitting and staring in front of me is an adorable little deer with blondies that have walnuts in them.
Anyway.
Okay. All right. So we here. Let's actually write this out. Put there as well. But now we need a word for there. So bull ends in a vowel, but pour ends in a r, which is a kind of a weak consonant.
And so if it started with a stronger consonant, that would disappear.
One would think. Here, let's see what happens with this just as is. Tor comes out as modern tor, so the r stays. What happens if we put a feisty fricative next to it? Torta.
Oh, wow.
That is kind of nice.
That is, and very surprising.
Yeah.
So we may have just identified sa is a good form.
Yeah, like I kind of like this. Here, let me just put the B just so we see. That doesn't seem right. That seems really wrong.
Because the S.
Why is the S spontaneously becoming a T in between vowels? That doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, so everybody can see what we're looking at. We're gonna trace changes here. De-Romanizer.
We don't have S in proto.
We don't have S in proto.
So TH, aspirated TH is where we get S.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Okay. Okay. So, okay. All right. Okay. S got de-Romanized for whatever reason as pharyngalized T. And so it survived as T into the modern.
Okay.
If you put in the regular T, which gets de-Romanized as the aspirated, it comes out as S in both cases, giving you tosa with a geminate and bosa with a singleton. There's an argument here for it being tosa and bosa, since it's pronouns and could get lenited.
Mm-hmm.
But if you liked tohta, we could just do the pharyngalized T instead.
Do you want to see what viewers are feeling?
I do. And by the way, these are in opposite order from what you're seeing. So here, I'm gonna do it the other way. Basically, boo is the singular form. All right, so now just going to show them there. And so just bear in mind that we're going to shorten that geminate up. Hey, Dark Horse. Actually, maybe that could be a separate poll if that one wins. Okay, here we go.
Was it? No, it was Tohta. Yeah. I was thinking it was Bohta.
All right.
Woo.
And basically, if the first option wins, we're going to do a second poll and see if you want to kill that geminate or not.
Oh, goodness. I'm excited to see how this goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a single converb form for my missile language.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of stopped there because I was like, that's all I got time for this month.
Mm-hmm.
At some point I'll have to revisit it and decide if I want more. Or if I'm just going to do some sort of generic, like, there was a converb.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
I did a converb for Shivaiseth, and it's useful. All right, I think that is going to decide that, and I think that's a nice decision. And we can have this further. So we can say it's actually double A,
Mm-hmm.
and then just for the pronouns, it gets shortened up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you like that? All right.
Sorry, my brain went on a little vacation for a second. All these people talking about food.
Yeah.
Even ridiculous food. It's got me thinking about food.
Yeah. Let me pop over to Howloff real quick and see what happens. Thaw. Okay. Good. All right. So let's enter our new form for Howloff.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be that. This was this. I'm going to copy this.
What is it? Well, I'll see how you spell it, so okay. just the fridge.
So you know I'm a cat. If I were a dog, I'd do that same thing, but I'd start barking at it.
Oh, but I think I am going to get someone's dinner, speaking of food. It is.
Oh, yeah.
About time.
As a special celebration, we don't have Kopiko. Instead, we have a dog that gets to eat.
She gets to celebrate her wins.
Oh, it's A followed by A with a downy.
Oh, instead of an E. I'll have to fix that on my end.
Yeah. Boy, that fridge is just having its own little conversation, isn't it?
Did you hear what I'm doing?
It's getting faster.
Maybe it knows you're looking at it. Oops. And I think I just hit something on the dishwasher.
This should be in the positive sense, and this should be in the evocative sense. All right. Set.
Did you get it?
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, that was a big accomplishment. So this is usually where we celebrate with some Kopiko. Do you have any recommendations?
I can peel an orange.
I have an idea. I have an idea. I mean, I don't know if you really like the idea, but I have an idea. There is a bag of little treats that was given to us by my mother.
Oh, yeah, I can go grab those. I'll be right back.
All right. Okay, so this takes care of the nominative for us. Oh. Oh. Wait, Jake, you have a person? Isn't that kind of news? Shouldn't that be celebrated? was my seagull. That wasn't a very good seagull. I could do a better one, but I don't want it to be too loud. Just a brief show of hands, both here and in the poll. Am I the only person that has read in its entirety Jonathan Livingston Seagull?
I mean, I'm keeping my hand down because I have not.
All right. Oh, on your person, I get it. I thought you were saying that in the modern sense. I get it. I ask if anybody's read Jonathan Livingston Seagull, and George Corley says, well, I'm out of here. Yeah.
But
All right. First, our celebration.
I'll let you pick your own.
And now,
Oh, we're doing this?
cheers.
Oh, cheers. We're giving each other, or are we doing
Oh,
the rap?
I should say something about them. M&M's, everybody knows them. All right.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. A swan?
Danielle read it.
Hmm.
Is Swansea really named after swan? Like a sea of swans? Okay. Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Everybody should read this book because I think until you read that book, you won't properly understand the 70s. And it's a short book with photographs taken by the author. And it's about a seagull named Jonathan Livingston, who is among a society of seagulls and is just trying to fly really, really fast and keeps trying, with experiments and flies faster and faster. And the author tells you exactly how many knots he's flying, I believe. Until he flies so fast that he understands that he can fly into a cliff, and he does. This is major spoilers, by the way. And he eventually achieves perfect speed. All the while, the other seagulls are dismissing him, calling him crazy. But he does it. And then, flies off into perfect speed into the light and becomes pure energy.
I missed most of that.
I'm not going to say that it's the best world building, but it is. Nice. Yes, Miles. Yeah, the seagull's mass does turn to energy through this process. Listen. You got to read this book. It's very short. I think it's like 70 pages. And there are also just full-on photographs in there. This guy just went to the beach photographing seagulls. It's something that only could have happened in the 70s. Madeline is heading out shortly for revisions prep. Please tell us what revisions, Madeline. We want to know. What kind of revisions? And what do you need the prep for? Are you like preparing yourself mentally to do the revisions? Wait a minute. Is this a British thing? She's not British, is she British? No. No, okay, good, because they use revisions to mean revise. Wait, to test.
To study.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna check on Freya though. I had left the door open a little bit to get air into the room.
This is true. I never understood the point of studying. You're just looking at stuff you already know. You need to prepare how you're going to address them all. Presumably by addressing them. No, I'm not going to give you a pass this time, Madeline. Sorry. Come up with a better excuse and then you can go. Something cat related. I'm going to eat this entire bag of M&Ms. English, no, it's a mishmash. They're basic peanut M&Ms. Okay. See, there's an excuse. I'm going to report this, and when I report it, it will be true.
What are you going to report?
Madeline says there's a cat on my doorstep actively having babies, and I need to help them fend off a fox. That's an excuse. That's how you leave a LangTime stream.
Is that what revisions means these days?
I think it's an East Coast thing.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try to, keep Freya downstairs.
Why? What's going on?
She may have found the trash can. Yeah. And so I just want to keep her down here.
The trash can upstairs?
Yeah.
What on earth would be up there? Like the food trash is down here. What's the problem?
She's curious. Like a little kitty. Yeah. Yeah, play with yourself down here. Yeah.
Okay. Jake, if you enjoy being warm and dry, why are you where you are?
That is a good question. Oh.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that, Nemo. By the way, Nemo, I don't know if you ever heard this, but when I was visiting Pilani, they said that we could see the Taj Mahal, and I didn't know quite what that meant. They called a taxi at 7 in the morning, said where to, and they said Agra, and then we got in the car and drove 9.5 hours to go see the Taj Mahal. We were there like an hour and a half or so, got back in the car and drove 9.5 hours back. And Jake's never been to Scotland. Okay. So, okay, we need this information. You know what? let's just do the nominatives. Let's put those in the table.
Sounds like a good thing to do.
This is where I did it. I did this and I was like, oh, I don't know if that's going to be right. So, Rafi, Hari,
Where I said, just stop, David.
Ki, maybe not for that, but we'll see. Where was I working?
Underneath the sound changes. Like before the charts. So, yeah, right there.
Oh, it wasn't that far off. Bota and Tochter.
Oh, it sounds a little bit like Tochter. I mean, a little bit, I mean, such a little bit.
No, it's pretty close. And then, okay, so let's figure out what the nominatives that we are going to be happy with for these two are. Kwek and Lak.
Good song.
Okay. We have Quiche and Lakfa. Oh, brother.
Yeah, I was just going to say, why are you writing that over?
So if if we do quiche, that's going to be the word for fox as well. So it'll be like Mann in German. You know, man sagt das.
Mm-hmm.
Es ist ein Hund und ich bin kein ein Huntermann.
Is that what we're calling?
Ich bin ein Katzmann. Ja. Für die Katze. I don't know. It's pluralized.
Kitson.
Ha ha ha. But in truth, people who were listening carefully knew that I said Kitze, not Kitze, and it was Kitze. Mein Volklich.
Oh, goodness.
The only part of Wales I ever want to go to is Portmeirion. I would desperately love to spend like a week in Portmeirion. So yeah, what do you think about third person singular? Exactly like fox, or shorten it to key?
Because quiche is the modern form.
Quiche
right,
should
right,
be
right.
the full
Because
form.
it was the whole quiche. Yeah, yeah.
In fact, I think we've got it down here, don't we?
I think
We
entered
don't.
it.
We don't.
We entered it in the dictionary, though, right?
We did. Didn't we?
Okay. Let's see, I thought so.
Daar she yips.
Um, so yeah, like I feel like they would end up if quiche were the pronoun, I feel like they would potentially end up kind of strengthening it a little bit to be
Strengthen?
fox.
Wait.
So like if quiche just means third person pronoun, they may strengthen it because like no, I guess they don't. There's no pronunciation difference.
Well, you were going
There's
the
only
opposite
an
direction.
orthographic difference between Mann and Mann in German, isn't there?
Yeah. You went the opposite direction. I was suggesting leniting quiche as a pronoun. You're suggesting fortifying quiche as a noun.
I was not going the opposite. I thought you said, what about just having them both be quiche? And I said, if that's the case, I feel like fox may end up getting fortified.
And
it was just an if. And then my brain was like, wait, no, it really isn't fortified. In German, it's just like you think it is because it's lowercase in one end versus uppercase in two ends, but like those are only orthographic. No, babe, if you're gonna sit here, you need to sit.
But Jake, you haven't been to Buckfastleigh to visit the otter and butterfly sanctuary.
Yeah.
Apparently Yiddish distinguishes them. Pronoun is men, noun is man.
Ooh. So anyway, no, I think kind of reducing it as a pronoun would be a good option for this language.
All right. So then we will do that. Now, what about this? That's the verb for run. We could easily come up with a different verb for run and just keep this like that.
Oh, keep the form lakva full, but then they just end up creating their new. I think that's a good option. Also, like having the way we used run in the pronoun sense, the plural sense anyway, was like it kind of did some cool little verb things. And so with the foxes adopting that one, I could see them sort of reanalyzing and being like, that's not the verb.
Sorry, I got distracted. Go away.
It's a little hair.
It is a little hair. The light changed, and that's why I could see it suddenly. I see that you said outside of England. My bad there. Okay. All right, then this will satisfy us for our nominatives. So now let's start to look at, I'm going to do the full form here. If these are our full forms for the first person singular, how can we imagine shortening these?
I mean, obviously the way you had originally done it with the F's just disappearing is one way to shorten them. Ondra could end up being just onda.
So, and this was the, again, the initial problem where for stress purposes, you would expect the stress would be horaf, araf, ondraf, waraf, and hondraf.
Do you want down? Do you want down? There you go. There you go. And so in that case, what you're saying is like it wouldn't be likely for the R to disappear because of the stress?
I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying I think it causes problems. If this were an ordinary language that had an ordinary stress rule, then I think we'd be on surer footing. The problem arises with the fact that this language was just completely analytical.
Yeah.
And so there was no word stress rule. There didn't need to be. Stress was simply assigned to phrasally. And so essentially here, the phrasal element that's stressed is the pronoun.
Right.
Giving us this. We could lengthen these by throwing the U at the end for all of them and then shorten them again.
And end up getting like ondrao or something. Like afi becoming out.
Yeah, something like that. We could also there are a couple of radical options. One is to really lock in on this raf one. Have the accusative and genitive merge as just plain old raf. So they're both the same. And then that U is suddenly going to become a marker of the nominative, even though it's not. And then we could have, raf, raf, draf. Raf again?
Yeah, it kind of falls apart when we hit the allative and illative, but those
are always built off something. They could just be waraf and hondraf.
Right, yeah, those could keep their bigger forms. What were you saying for accusative? Was it ora? Ora?
So they would be the same.
Accusative and genitive would be the same, and then draf.
I don't hate it.
Yeah. It'd be interesting if would it make sense for all of them to stay the same just based on the form of the accusative and genitive, or would some of them end up with different accusative genitive forms because the way the root interacts with them? We don't know yet.
Let's find out.
Okay.
Yeah. But as it stands, we can merge these puppies. Oh, you should tell everybody about the present that the present that was credited to us, but which you really championed and made happen for my mother.
Oh, because of Jake's comment, the hummingbirds.
Yeah, I'll do the sound changes for this one.
So yeah, for David's mom, we got her one of those camera hummingbird feeders where the camera is set off when a bird comes by, and then it like goes into the app and you've got the video and the photos and everything. And so yeah, they've already had like just in 2 days like 9 distinct hummingbirds visit the feeder, and so they have names now and little photos and everything. And one of the hummingbirds was chased off by a giant bee, and then the bee attacked the camera like dead on. It was great. Like I don't even know what the bee was going for, but the bee absolutely attacked the camera. Let me get this. Let's see. Freya's playing.
Should we mark stress on this? I forget. No, I don't think we should, because I think it's pretty, everybody knows, that these things are stressed on the root. Bless your puppy.
Look at that face I caught.
Oh my God, you have to share that.
Okay. Do you mean share it on Discord or share
Yeah.
it?
Oh, both.
Trying to see. Yeah, that was the best one. Okay.
And a beaver? I've never seen a beaver in the wild. I'd have a really hard time not going up to them and giving them a pet.
What are you finding as I'm putting this into Discord?
Feeling like we may feel like because of the stress it's just going to happen again.
The same with bow and bow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this one,
It has to keep the O.
yeah.
Or locative is now the same as accusative and genitive because all we're getting, we have the inserted D because of the nasal followed by the R. The D was inserted. But yeah, if we want a distinction between locative and genitive / accusative.
To quote, to reference BoJack Horseman, that's too much, man. So I think that's good. Now I'm very curious what's going to happen with this. We already.
I'm very curious too.
Yeah. And it ended up a triple.
Pokey. Oh.
I'm gonna keep the esh in there just for now.
Okay.
We're probably gonna delete it.
I forgot I had intended. So, as a fun little thing, because Jonathan just mentioned that the Valia pronoun is also key, and so it's a fun little like non-related overlap. Hungarian, the form for who is key.
Yeah.
And that then, while I was doing a French lesson, I was like, oh my God, we have all these like French and Spanish words that are like K and similar to key. And so I was just looking up where key came from, but it's Proto-Uralic K, which is totally different than, of course, the Spanish K.
Yeah.
But there it is, like some fun little overlap where it's like they aren't related at all, and yet there are these forms and they mean something very similar. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Oh man. Also, Karis did a great job giving us some canon examples from that article that we had briefly looked at.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, from a different article. Sorry, this is a different article. But, you know, same overall result. Very cool.
I think that's gonna be it.
Oh, bye, Aaron. Have a nice sleep. Ooh, a triple overlap there. I like that wonky, wacky, wonky.
I was thinking it'd be a little odd to use it in the nominative anyway.
Why would it be odd?
We are setting a precedent here, though. So, for example, he saw him.
Right.
Or he saw her. Let's say that you just didn't want to use the pronoun for the subject, which is fine. How would you know that key was the object? I think I have an idea.
So does Freya. Or fortify the nominative with there.
I was actually thinking like there could be two of them.
Did you hear the slow squeak?
Yeah, I heard it. This is just going to bear with me.
I'm excited to see where this goes. Freya, down. Down. Yeah, you don't go up there. I know. You're a good climber. Yeah. Yes, you are. Yeah. Oh my God. She beheaded the bunny.
Really?
Where's the rest of the bunny?
Oh my
Where's the
goodness.
rest of it? This poor bunny. Oh, make sure everyone knows it's not a real one.
It's a stuffed rabbit.
Okay, so now I am. Ooh, standard and what?
Contrastive.
It's a lot of energy and I'm worried that left alone she will get into some trouble. Because you want attention. You're just like little Roman when he wants attention.
I appreciate everybody's unwavering belief in me.
I think you're doing great, babe. I don't know. Oh, wait, now we're starting to get more forms. I thought we had two columns, but they were still filled with the same forms, and I thought maybe that was a little fun.
Let's see. I think we're gonna go light here.
It does that to me when I'm in a cell. Like I have to click out of the table, back in.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome, because I so often have tried to format tables and had that happen. And now I know that, formatting tables for publications is pointless. So with the standard, are you suggesting they would conflate and be key and key?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go nuts. There we go. Basically, this is the rough equivalent of fourth person.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, he saw him. It's there only when you need it. And I do feel like I need to celebrate that.
That was a really good idea. I like it. Yeah.
All
Wonderful.
right.
Perfect.
Yeah. Moving on. No, that dog isn't bothering her.
Just a busy chewing on the chair. Based on what I've seen today, excuse me, her current mood is that she's more upset about people than dogs. Home Drop is being endorsed by by Matthijs, because home is of course dog in Dutch, and draf is trot, like the way a horse walks, and so that's to like run.
Oh.
The dog run. All right. Now we're down to tochta and the tochta forms.
Down with the fried potatoes, but like, you're making cabbage yourself to eat?
Cabbage is delicious.
It never has been.
Cabbage is delicious.
Weren't we just talking about that on the Discord? Like, frying mashed potatoes? Like, you do mashed potatoes and then, like, you fry them somehow?
Were we?
I think we were. Man, speaking of the thing that I miss the most from the Netherlands, kroketten. Love them so much.
Those are very good. I see the other half of the toy now.
I'm going to show you what I think for this. That is what I think. What do you think?
I like it. Got some cool vibes. And I like that the genitive and accusative are not melded in all parts of the table.
This is now my favorite pronoun.
Haru? Nice. Oh, Matthijs didn't hear what it is that you miss.
Kroketten. Cabbage is supremely the best vegetable. It is a core identity of me on Tumblr. It's like the vegetable equivalent of cardboard.
What? How? It's got so much flavor.
The only flavor it ever has is what's given to it. And usually the flavor people gives to it is repugnant. Like something in the vinegar family.
David and his hot takes.
Alright, this one might spark some discussion.
What? I am getting too engrossed in what's happening in chat. Need to
And
I need to focus here.
when people talk about, say, Kroketten versus Bitterbollen, they're just the same thing, but Bitterbollen are smaller.
Are they?
Yeah, like they're spherical.
Mm-hmm.
Kroketten are like the shape of a hot dog.
Mm-hmm. And they're otherwise prepared the same way?
Cabbage is like walking into a bingo parlor in an old folks' home.
I don't even know where you're going with that.
Certainly not something one enjoys. It's associated with a particular smell, and nothing really happens there.
My husband, the dropper of hot takes. All right, so David, let's talk about tochta and hotoch, atoch, untoch.
It seems, yikes.
I know that the toch syllable is stressed, but do you think it would end up becoming H just to kind of match what it is in tochta and hoto, and then maybe just hoto?
That's one option. Another option is it lengthens.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to make sure that we're okay with H at the end of the word. I'm pretty sure we are. But yeah, it stays. I like how coleslaw usually comes in a little paper cup because then I could just throw it directly into the trash. And it also doesn't infect any of the other food on my plate.
Sad for you. Coleslaw is delicious. Okay, so H is allowed?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I haven't been able to specify or identify rather what exactly I'm feeling as I look at these.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the at the end.
Yeah, I don't either.
I guess I can identify what I feel.
There
I
we
don't
go.
like the
Do you like the light H, or do you like it getting dropped entirely or lengthening the vowel?
could kind of be wild and say the H is there, but for most speakers, they don't pronounce the H unless a vowel initial word follows it, like A and An. But this is second person plural, not used as much. As second person singular.
I think it should keep the H.
Okay.
Biblaridian is asking if there's any particular reason that I coined the Dothraki word for cabbage after Grayson Richardson. At this point of remove, I don't know. In other words, I don't know if he was particularly fond of cabbage. Chances are I was just coining words after people, and cabbage was what I was coming up with a word for at that moment. What are you doing? In which universe do you think that's acceptable? Do you respect yourself as a being? My goodness.
So yeah, I vote for the H.
Okay. So Jonathan wanted a Kanan word in Valya.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and they decided that they needed a word for cabbage, and so I don't know if that's Kanganu or Kangangu. Either way, that's cabbage. Magpie immediately said knabbage.
Nice.
If we're able to squeeze another Kanan out of Tapahla, we could have it mean cabbage.
Cabbage? Nice.
Ooh, Knapagabak. Do you know what that means? I have no idea.
No.
Which little cousin? They're probably not so little anymore.
Wasn't it Kenti?
I guess suggest has two meanings, doesn't it?
Oh.
So this is second person plural. And incidentally, the reason why I shortened this one was because of this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we should do it here too.
Okay. I like that. I'm happy with this.
All right. And that brings us to our last one.
Your cousin suggested gato.
Huh. Which cousin? I've got so many.
You really do.
And I keep getting manier and manier. I have a new cousin now. Because if your cousin has a child, they're still your cousin.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
That's further out.
Well, yeah, but it's like if your sibling has a child, they're your niece, nephew. But if your cousin has a child, there's no new word. It's just a cousin. It's a first cousin once removed, I believe.
I mean, if we're going to count that, then I outnumber you by spades.
See.
They are removed from you, David.
Yeah. Oh, but it really is a Joy's thing, and the new baby is named
David. Oh.
Karis.
I thought David was going to refuse to acknowledge any true names of any babies being born until one is named David.
It would be nice.
Just start calling them all David until someone gives in and says, fine, name this baby David.
It's the least they could do. In truth, though, of course, that was only...
Karis is giving you eyes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But not spelled that way. Keris.
Karis. Because it's after the Greek. Charis. Grace.
Shoot.
Did you send something?
Can you edit a text message a week later?
Like, I'm pretty sure they were spelling it with an A because they named it was based on a Greek word.
Oh, good. I didn't write the name in there.
So you're safe. That's okay. You spelled my name wrong for like 5 years.
That's true. Seriously, I just got to show this. This is really cute.
So yeah, let me make sure my stream. Yeah, my stream is out. It's been taking a while though. I see you looking at your phone. Here we go. Oh yeah. There's a lot of shine, but when it's in frame.
Yeah, it's.
How did it get worse? There. You moved away. We're in a comedy of errors, and YouTube is taking forever to update. Like I swear it's stuck. And now,
now it's the glare.
Now when you're in frame, it's like this giant sunbeam.
Whatever.
Well, Karis is a
it turned off.
Beam
My
of
screen
beautiful
turned
light.
off. My screen turned off. That's even better. Yeah.
This is fantastic.
God. You're right. Oh my God. Okay. Let's do this. Let's finish our third person plural pronoun and then we'll be done. We can figure out what the poll is going to be. If we have no ideas, we can go and do that number poll.
Numbers, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just go back to where we discussed that. I can't remember if it was in the Fox or the Hauhoff channel, but somewhere it's there and I'll just write it up. Okay, so this one is coming out really long, right? So we have, lakfa, right?
Yeah.
And this, obviously, he, her is much more common than they, them. You know, they took them, but I have a radical suggestion.
I am looking for it too.
Are you ready?
No, I think that based on analogy of what's been happening.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. And now these are the rest of them, and you can tell me what you think. Oh boy.
This one has the Angu.
And this, I'm sure, isn't going to fit. So it's onglakfa and then honglakfa.
Indeed it is.
This is what I'm going to do.
Black. Voila. And
Best I can do. Final offer.
done.
All right.
Done.
Not bad. I know that took a while, and it wasn't the most pleasant of experiences. But those of you who were here the entire time, I think you witnessed something.
I think so.
Yeah.
A dog helped us get the Fox pronouns completed.
All right. So, Jesse, real question. Do you think I should move things around until I can spell the whole word contrastive?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Boom. I have to enter those into the dictionary, of course. But, yeah, all right. So we'll do the number poll next.
Yeah. And you're right. You all witnessed a scalding hot cabbage take.
I have to say, though, like, you know that you as a viewership are in the stark minority on most things, right? Like, you just ask a bunch of people in general, cabbage, yay or nay, the nays are going to win out.
Because they're wrong.
Far and away.
Because they're wrong. Hey,
Okay.
how's that wrong?
Center that one key vertically.
I did.
It wasn't?
The contrastive one wasn't.
Really?
So I did.
Oh. Yeah, usually we do the whole thing. Yeah. I guess that was the only thing that wasn't. How weird.
I think when you unmerged the cells, it goes back to its normal
yeah,
formatting.
So yeah, wasn't intentional.
And so you're welcome, Jonathan.
There's unlucky 8. Standing up for the majority of us. Well, Jonathan, you should have let me know because, yeah, that definitely was not the intent. I know. Okay. Good. But yeah, we know what we're doing next. We're getting more and more sun on us. I am looking. Look at that.
The dog went upstairs.
Oh, look at that. If I go like that, then it's like there's like a light wall that I go through.
You look great. Come on, let's see it again. Okay. Hey, where's your toy? You're guarding all. I was gonna take this one. Woo! Okay, but yes.
See, for myself, I love broccoli.
Broccoli's good.
Broccoli makes me very happy. And
cauliflower's good.
And cauliflower is not as good as broccoli.
Oh.
Like,
rude.
it's kind of like comparing lettuce and cabbage. Like, if you could have lettuce, why would you eat cabbage? If you could have broccoli, why would you eat cauliflower?
Because cauliflower is so good.
It's not as good in flavor. Like, is it healthier? Is cauliflower healthier than broccoli?
No, but I mean, all vegetables have their own health benefits. So it's a different set of vitamins and stuff.
Oh, man. Mateus is strong Team David on this stream. I like this. No, I wouldn't describe lettuce as flavorful. Not at all. It's more of an experience. Bless you.
Thank you.
Like diving into a pool. It's more of just like the texture and water content. You know, you bite into some lettuce and it's like, that was nice. That was nice. You're not biting into it for flavor. Ooh, Karis is Team Broccoli as well. It's one of the reasons that I love spring rolls so much. There's lettuce in there, and it just provides this texture. And it's just really bright. It's lovely. The spring roll is one of my favorite foods. And when I say spring roll, I don't mean the fried one. Sometimes what I think of as egg rolls are called spring rolls, and what I think of as spring rolls are called either Vietnamese spring rolls or summer rolls. I've seen.
Yeah, summer rolls.
But it's really, really important that you get the distinction right, because otherwise, like, if you end up with something fried and you were hoping for something fresh, it's really disappointing. And I think probably vice versa, though I don't know why anybody would ever be disappointed with a spring roll that came to you. But yeah, the rice paper wrapped ones.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
With fresh herbs.
And yeah, nice fresh herbs, good cilantro.
All right.
All right. We've got a few, we've just got like another 3.5 hours. So, buckle up. You want to know the best thing about being on the East Coast? We are 1 minute away from the first NBA playoff game starting. The first one, Jesse, the first one.
I am very happy for you. I am
so
1 minute
excited.
away from getting dinner started and watching a video that was sent to me that I've been waiting to watch.
So, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being so patient with our audio issues and not complaining about them once. It brings joy to my heart.
And to Freya's heart.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Oh, here, to close on a high note, check out this wrapping paper. All right. Have a very pleasant weekend, and then have a pleasant week after that. And we will see you back at our usual place next Thursday. Stay grammar, everybody.